Memories belong in the past, even disappear into oblivion. How to be sure of what happened, what really happened? How to know if those memories are not the result of our imagination? After so much time traveling through space, Divine, the young goddess, arrived at her inner planet. When she woke up, she had lost most of her powers, and she didn't remember hardly anything of her past. She had traveled for weeks, guided by a voice that sounded so familiar. She just remembered two names, hers and the name Evelyn. The very thought of that name saddened her, and she did not even know who she was. Like the shadow of a nightmare that she could not remember. That voice, what did it want? Could it be the voice of her own conscience that looked like a switch? Divine thought she should press the red button. Suddenly, she saw another secret switch appearing from nowhere. Whoops! Who knows what could happen with those gadgets? That voice again. But she knew that those ghostly visions were not real. Divine had traveled forever to get here. Divine did not fully understand. It could be the voice of her own conscience, or even an evil spirit. Run? Run where? She did not understand. She could not think. The earth was shaking. Meanwhile, a devilish mask chased her everywhere. Divine was disoriented. Her head was about to explode. She closed her eyes. She stopped thinking, breathing. She felt pain in her legs. She could barely run. What happened in there? Divine was exhausted. They could be hallucinations. However, Divine knew that in here, anything could happen. It was not a normal planet. It was a reflection of her soul. Once again, that voice that called her from the depths. She had to find it. She needed answers. She needed to recover her powers. She needed to remember her past. This planet was created from our own memories and thoughts. It was dangerous, but at the same time, it was well known to Divine. This cave, for example, seemed to come from her childhood memories. Divine smiled. She had to admit her inner planet was full of beauty. Amiel sounded very familiar to her. She had lived there during her childhood. But she didn't remember this strange rock. It seemed to hide something very dark under the ground.
Oh.
Divine remembered Misha. She had been her babysitter all her childhood. She was like a second mother to Divine.
Hey.